I'm just looking over. I have here a copy. This is Charles Grodin's selected filmography. These are not all of the films that comprise his career, but many of the films, and there's some fantastic efforts here. And I thought what we would do when Happy comes out here, we would just run down the list of these great films and ask him for a comment or two on each production.
Very
think that'll be?
Yeah, because he's made some great ones.
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Happy Charles Grodin. Welcome back to the show. Always a pleasure. I've been looking forward to this for some time. How you doing? Everything good? Haven't seen you in a while. What's the matter?
Did you mention Johnny Carson's name in your monologue?
Yeah. We stole Stump the Band.
You
from
said
him.
you'd spoken to Johnny Carson?
Yeah, he called and he said, fine,
Johnny
take it.
Carson called you?
Right.
Seriously?
No. I called and then he called me back.
You spoke to Johnny Carson?
I spoke to Johnny Carson. He said, fine, take Stump the Band. I'm not doing it currently. You can have it. It's all right. It's fine. There's nothing illegal going on.
You spoke to Johnny Carson recently?
I've had dinner with Johnny Carson.
Well, I've had dinner with Johnny Carson. I stay at his house when I'm in Los Angeles.
Now, that's just a lie.
That is not a lie. I stay with him. I stay with Johnny and Alexis
and if he did, it certainly
on the
wouldn't be
beach
you.
at
No,
Malibu.
no.
And he told me he hasn't talked to you in years because of certain things I don't want to go into. You come out here and you say, I talked to Johnny. You know, come on, be straightforward with the audience. Seriously.
Listen, Happy, let's run through some of these films because I'm very impressed by your body of work.
Are you?
Yeah.
You know,
So you
don't seem that impressed.
What did I just say?
I don't know. Just your whole body language doesn't seem that impressed. If you're impressed, you're more like Merv. Gee, you've done a lot of, like more like that.
Well, there's something else going on with Merv.
This is one of the reasons Johnny doesn't want to talk to you, because you don't slime other hosts.
I'm not sliming Merv, but Merv just had a different approach to things.
Yes.
Now, let's go through some of these. Take us down memory lane. Let's start out with the blockbuster Rosemary's Baby.
That's right. What's the question?
Well, you're supposed to give us your thumbnail impression of the film and the experience.
Do you remember the film? You know the film? Do people know the film?
Yes, they know the film.
In Rosemary's Baby, we talk for days to plan everything we're going to say. You don't say anything we've prearranged through attorneys that you're going to say, but I'll answer this question. Let me answer the question. Mia Farrow, I'm her, what do you call it? Gynecologist?
Husband?
No.
Boyfriend?
Gynecologist.
Yeah, gynecologist.
And then she leaves and she gets involved with some witches. And
right.
her husband, he sold his soul to
Gives
the devil.
birth to the devil.
Please.
What?
You asked me about Rosemary's
Baby.
Baby.
We've got a lot of films
I know,
to get to.
but this is the. So she comes back to me and say, the devils are chasing me. You got to help me. And I say,
Great film.
Yeah, and I have her lie down.
It's a great film, but. You just might as well.
I'm trying to make a point.
Fine. Read the entire script, will you? We got to
wait
move on.
Wait a minute. I'm making a point about the film. I turned her over thinking that she was, hallucinating,
right.
that the devils, and I turned them over, and to this day, people, and I'm not, it sounds like a joke, but I'm not kidding, people resent me.
Really?
For that. They do. They take you for what you are in the movies, the way you appear. Go ahead.
And you think... And you think this really is the reason people resent you?
The real reason people resent me is because for 30 years I've been with Johnny Carson and you
right.
with this bit. This is a bit. I'm actually a very... But I do this bit here, and now recently I'm going out a little more, and because I'm not used to, I live like you, not as much as you, but never really go anywhere. And now I saw George Stephanopoulos, I saw Bill Hemmer from CNN, I was sitting next to Peggy Noonan. Everybody looks at me like...
Here he is.
Like this.
Oh, because of the road.
Because of this. Yeah. Because of you, because of Carson, because of this role I'm playing.
Well, we don't have time for the other films. Sorry. I'll tell you one of my favorite Charles Grodin films, and it's listed here as your last film. And you correct me if I'm wrong about this. Was that the last film you made? What's the name of it? Chucky with Martin Short. What was the name of it? Freddie.
Clifford.
Clifford. Yes. This was a very funny motion picture. Very, very funny. Tell people about Clifford. Now that was a very entertaining film.
I really don't want to tell the people about Clifford.
No, I know you love that film.
I love the film. I think it's great.
Well.
I just don't want to tell the people about Clifford. You weren't patient to listen to Rosemary's Baby. Nobody even heard of Clifford, but it's a very funny film.
And you can still rent it, I would guess, right?
From my house.
No, I bet it's out on the DVD.
All me, personally.
Is it on the DVD, Charles?
Yes, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's very
good,
funny.
and I appreciate your saying.
Yeah. What are you up to these days?
What are you up to these days?
Well, now, what's the matter? There's nothing wrong with that question. What is wrong with you?
I'll tell you
You're
what.
I'm
doing a number of things, but I'll tell you, to be serious just for a second, I don't know if you know this, but, of course, I've been an actor, for a long time.
A great actor. I think one of the great comedic actors of our time.
I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more. I agree. So I'm involved, and I still have a kid in high school. And when he's out of high school, maybe
we
we'll do that.
commercial.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's.
We'll be right back here with Charles Grodin, everybody. Here's one I do want to mention, The Heartbreak Kid. Oh, my God, I could see that every day of the week. That's a great film. You and Sybil Shepherd.
Sit down.
Midnight Run, there's another good one.
Stand up. You made Cabin Boy, right?
Now, wait a minute. I was in Cabin Boy. I can't take credit for making it. I was just a...
I heard behind the scenes you were pretty much in charge of the creative.
I liked Cabin Boy.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, now listen,
I really thought it was good.
We go through this every time. Why don't you return to the silver screen?
Well, I thought I answered that in the first segment. Were we in commercial when you asked me that question?
Well, I don't know.
I have a son in high school, and when he graduates, if he leaves the house, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I hope he doesn't. Then maybe I would leave the house.
You go back to, so you're staying at home for your son. Well, that's admirable. That's the first decent thing I've heard you say since I've known you.
Somebody told me that you have a son as well.
That's right.
That true?
Yes, it is true. Isn't that hard to believe?
Yeah. Let me tell you what happens. Right. I mean, son, you got a baby son.
Yeah,
I
4
saw
months
when he was
old.
a baby. Oh, this kid. My son, I think when he was about 8, said to me that he felt that I wasn't selective enough in my humor. He did.
Well,
my wife saw me with Carson years ago tell a story, and she looked and she said, "Wow, I really like to marry that guy." And we met, and
Is that right?
And we did get married because she just loved me telling that story. And I told that to my son, and he said she just didn't realize you were going to keep telling them. So your son will do that. Your son, if you're still doing this, when your son is up and around and able to watch and everything, he's going to be your biggest critic.
No, I don't need that.
No. He's going to look at you. My son is. I was working for 60 Minutes, too, from the beginning. He says, "Get out of there."
Really?
Really. I said, "You crazy? It's 60 Minutes."
It's
He
a
said,
gig,
"Get
sure.
out.
Yeah.
Out."
And so
Movies.
So you took a hike.
Yeah, well, I thought he was crazy.
Now, let me ask you one question. Since the baby has been born, everyone has told me, "Oh, it gets better. It gets better." Now, the experience I've had so far, I can't imagine anything better. So as a person who's been through this, does it in fact get better?
Well, I said the same thing. In fact, I resented it when people said that because I'm quick to resent,
Yeah.
And I didn't like it was a put down of the age of 4 months.
Right.
But what gets better is that when they can start, talking, standing up, walking around.
Right.
But eventually, when that all happens and that gets better, then it spins around again. And it gets critical.
At what age does it spin?
Well, my kid started at 8 when he could, take a good look at me. Your kid, if you're still on television and he can look at you, he's gonna probably saying, "Rethink the suit." Really, he's gonna, you can't call it a gap, but take care of that.
Take care of the teeth.
probably tell Paul, consider a piece.
Oh, no, hey,
No,
hey.
this is what a kid does.
Really?
My kid tells me, well, he'll see this thing and say, boy, really, were you sitting up straight? It's tough.
It's pretty hard to take from a kid who right now is spending all his time in a paper diaper. You know?
Your kid, you mean?
Well,
Yeah. I thought we were talking about my kid.
No, I was...
Always have to talk about your kid. We can't talk about my kid. Can I tell you, I don't come out to promote stuff, but can I tell you that I've got a franchise, a national franchise. I've always been interested in sports. You have as well. And basketball particularly. And I've got it's a national franchise, been out there for about 3 months, but it's in about 38 cities in the country. It's the Grodin Academy of Sports Acting. And what this is for basketball players primarily.
This is a great idea.
Yeah, for basketball players, if they want to, if the referee calls the foul, and they want to back them up. What?
Yeah.
Come on!
Right.
He fouled me!
Yeah.
This is all across the country. We have players in the NBA, when you watch television and you see these guys, what?
Yeah.
You see that a lot.
Yeah.
That's from the Grodin Academy of Sports
Many are
Acting.
graduates from the Grodin Academy.
And high school, but a lot of the NBA pros have come by, and if you could sell your sincerity and say, I didn't, if you could sell that, they're less likely to call another foul on you.
What do you charge?
Well, I don't want to get into financial.
Well, how long is the course? How long does it run? Is it like 8 weeks?
It's 8 months.
8 months?
And I visit the players at half between games if I've watched their work at the Garden. I'm at the Garden all the time at halftime saying, come on.
Yeah.
But now your work in Cabin Boy suggests to me that you could you give me a what? Could you do it? Because I'm a professional actor and you're basically an amateur actor, right? So if you were to come to the Sports Acting Academy, you see, this is why you're a lousy student. Look at your attitude. You're not interested in this.
Charles, you should be more selective in your comedy. What do you think? We're running out of time. I just wanted you to say a couple of words about Jack Parr, who passed away a few months ago at this point, and was the first one really to do this. I guess the Tonight Show before that was Jerry, what was the guy's name?
Jerry Lester.
Jerry Lester, and then it was Steve
Allen, Jack Parr, Johnny
Carson.
Yeah.
And you had a good relationship with
Yeah, we became friends through Regis, and so at the memorial. So I'll tell you a quick story. Okay. This is Regis Philbin and Joy Philbin and Jack and Marion Parr and Alyssa and Charles Grodin at La Crémaillère. It's in Greenwich and somewhere. And we're at this table. They put us right in the center so everybody walking in can see all these people. And Regis, this is just before the Millionaire thing debuts the first time. And Regis is very excited. You got a 20-20, you got a 50-50, you got a lifeline, and nobody knows what the hell he's talking about, honestly. Yeah. And we don't care.
Of course.
Because basically he's just saying, I'm going to host a quiz show. We don't know
it's a game
that he's going to save the network. We don't
Right.
know that it's a big deal. We just think he's taking too much time at dinner, And he's going on and on. I said, well, so the 50-50, the lifeline, and I'm like that. But Jack would go, would break it faster than I would. And Jack leans into Regis and me, and he looks over at the door and he says, Mother Teresa just came in. Well, that one was more for you because you have to know Jack. It's a dear story. And that's a gentle way of saying, please, stop this. You're boring me to death. That's Jack Parr.
All right, Charles. And you've written a play that's being produced in San Francisco, is that right?
Called The Right Kind of People. It opens in San Francisco. But the big thing is the sports acting franchise.
All right. Nice to see you. Good to have you here, Happy. It's Charles Grodin, everybody. We'll be right back with Chloe Pang. Mood because it's always great to have our first guest on the show. He is an actor, talented actor, and also a playwright. I didn't realize he was a playwright. His latest off-Broadway production is entitled The Right Kind of People. Did you know this about Charles?
Is this what he wrote this play?
He's written this play. It's called The Right Kind of People, and it begins previews on January 24th. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Charles Grodin. Charles, come on.
to see you. Welcome back to the show. What have you been up to, my friend? Where you been? What's going on? What's the down low? What's the 411? What's happening? Charles, can you hear me? You all right?
You know, I had no idea you had that kind of a singing voice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
That was, I've directed
kind of
musicals.
It's a rich baritone kind of thing.
And I hope that later in the show, I don't think you have a musical act tonight, do you?
No. All right, maybe we'll do a number. Let's see how this goes. Listen, I want to say two things to you. First of all, you look tremendous. You look just great, and Happy New Year. Secondly, you look great. Secondly, we've missed having you on the show, and I know you've been busy, but I just want to make sure everything's okay between you and me, that we're still,
Well, "33 years ago, I was put under a contract as an exclusive talk show guest by Johnny Carson.
33 years ago?
Yes. Let me ask you, what were you doing 33 years ago?
I had a paper route. I think I had a
really?
paper route.
In 1973, what were you doing?
I was working in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Indianapolis.
Well, now, wait, what's so funny about that? There's nothing funny about that.
I said I was under contract with Johnny Carson, and you said you were working in Indianapolis.
But you're considerably older than I am.
When you eventually came onto television, you appeared on Johnny Carson,
Yeah,
right?
oh, many
Several
times.
times.
Oh, yes, I loved
Were
it.
you ever under exclusive contract with him?
No, I can say no. I was never under, no,
really?
No, never.
Wonder why not?
No.
Wonder why not?
I don't know. I was too young.
No, a lot of young people.
Oh, is that right? Under
no,
contract?
actually, there were only 3 people who were under contract.
I didn't realize that about you, Charles. That's fascinating.
The late, great Burl Ives.
Burl Ives was under contract? Oh, we'll see you.
No, but very few people, but I was.
Yeah. That's Paul. That's Paul.
I thought you were serious. Burl Ives. Under contract to Johnny Carson.
Why does he sound like he's coming from the ceiling?
We have speakers.
That's the CBS, the beautiful sound we have here in the theater.
Speakers and stuff. But see, this is the kind of fun we have missed, not having you around the last couple of years. It's this kind of good, clean fun.
It's clean.
Like party fun.
Let me explain exactly what happened, and this actually is true. I was on 1973, which is...
I don't know.
Talking 33 years ago.
Long time ago. You said 33 years ago, sure.
And I followed my opening. I was on at 7 minutes to 1. I used to be on until 1 o'clock.
Right, a 90-minute show.
Yes, and and I followed a medley of this. I'm not making this up. Of Diana Ross singing her greatest hits, and I was an unknown actor in my first.
What a great show!
Please, don't you see? If you mumble while I'm making my point, it's gonna. Everything gets blurred when you do that.
All right, I'll just lay out here then.
When a guest
I'll
is
lay
here,
out.
Yeah.
You let me know when you need help.
Yeah. I'm not going to need any help.
Yeah.
You know who needs help?
Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What
do you mean? You know who needs help?
Well, you know.
I heard that.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute.
Well, you just said you know who needs help. Who needs help?
I'm going to come back to your point in a minute.
But who needs help?
Be honest. I mean, how many times you're out here?
I got the tapes upstairs. I got the tapes upstairs.
5 times a week you're
we'll
out
go look
here.
at the tapes.
And how
of
much
you.
time are you out here?
Huh?
Where? Be honest.
Yeah.
It's hard to do 5. What do you do? 5 nights a week for 37 years or something?
It's
right.
fine.
Yeah,
It's
but
fine.
you were never under contract exclusively.
No. Okay. All right.
Anyway, I couldn't follow Diana Ross doing a medley of her greatest hits and say I'm very excited about this new movie. I mean, so I developed this act of this thing I'm doing right now, this disgruntled, this irritable, this unpleasant guy, and I developed that right away. That's what he liked, and I kept doing it, and I have been doing it until I haven't stopped doing it. I'm doing it right now.
Right.
But the problem is I do it in a way that people actually, because I've actually studied my craft, And,
'Cause,
'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, and I do it in a way that people really, and I've heard this all over the place. So that in the last couple of years I haven't been here. I said, I'm paying a price for this. Every time someone meets me, they think I'm going to be this irritable, cranky person that I've been for 33 years on television. What?
Can I say something now? Churlish.
No, but you know, it's an act.
Yeah, I'm just adding another word.
Yeah, but it's an act.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'll take your word for it. I think you're a pretty angry fellow. But that's an act, right?
It's a comedy act.
Comedy act.
Yeah, I'm not actually like this. I'm doing this because if I didn't do this, I'd say, well, I have a new play opening Off-Broadway that I wrote.
But
you didn't realize that I was
Excuse me, Charles.
And who cares?
Can I get back in? I ran into you one time in real life in a deli up in Connecticut, and you were pretty much the same then as you are on the show. Pretty
the
much
only
the same.
person in my family, and this is true, that you ever ran into in real life up in Connecticut was my son.
You
when
and your
he was
son.
A young man.
You and your son.
You remember? No,
Yeah.
it wasn't me.
Yes,
I
it
wasn't
was you.
there.
Of course you were there.
It was my wife and my small son who
You were
walked
there.
over to you.
No, you were there.
And this is all literally true. And he said to you, this is not made up. And he said hi. He was like a little boy of 8 or 9.
Yeah,
He says,
Nicky.
That's right, Nicky. And he said, hi, I'm Charles Grodin's son. And this guy says, good for you. That's true. And my wife was there, and she said, I'm sure he didn't mean it to come out as churlish as it came out. Now, how old is your son?
He's 2.
We should all live and be well. I'm going to run into him one day.
I would love it. I would love for you to meet my son.
And he's going to come over to me and say, I'm David Letterman's son. And I'm going to say, how are you, honey? How you doing?
Yeah,
Depending on his age. I might not say honey, depending on how old he is, But I will embrace him. I'll say, your father's a wonderful person. He's a great humanitarian and a kind of like a sleazy comic, but we, forget that. And the man could sing.
But I don't think that I meant it. I think I meant it like, well, good for you. I mean, that's good. You don't think so?
Good for you.
I don't think I said it like that.
I'm sure you don't.
Yeah,
all hostility is unconscious.
Well, that's it. I have no reason to be hostile to your son.
That's how I feel.
All right. Okay, well, we'll be right back here with Charles Grodin.
But it's nice to have it.
Yeah, no, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Charles Grodin is here, and Jordana Brewster. See, I get all
You're
the
so hostile.
No, I'm not hostile. Listen, here's a deal. They've got this King Kong movie out now, and it's about a giant monkey that comes to New York City and befriends a young boy, and they go through. They have adventures. Now, in 19...
Wait a minute.
What?
Weren't we going to talk about this play I have opening in New York?
But first, I just something came to me. You and was it Jessica Lange?
Yes,
and
it
a
was.
tremendous cast. Also were in King Kong back in, was it the 70s?
76.
76. That's just tremendous. So share some memories with us. Your King Kong memories.
When this new Kong came along, they were like going crazy.
Everybody.
This is going to be the biggest thing ever, which it isn't.
No.
And they would always refer to the 33, what they called the original, the masterpiece.
Fay Wray.
And then they would refer to the 76, the one that Jessica Lange, Jeff Bridges, and I did, as, oh, that Kong.
Right.
And this has been going on for a long time. I think my Kong deserves more respect.
Right.
Then it's gone. I mean, there's nothing, when Kong saw Jessica Lange, it didn't take a tremendous amount of acting training for him to go,
Right.
Now,
was your King Kong, was that a TV movie or was that a... Hey, the good news is, now wait a minute, we have a clip of you and
that the
King
good
Kong.
news?
Yeah, we have a clip.
excuse me, don't touch me.
We have a clip of you and the 1976 King Kong. Take a look. Charles Grodin, 1976 King Kong.
You are so hostile.
No. I will say, I thought you were great. That goes without saying. But the monkey looks more like a bear. If I came in late, I would think it was a giant bear movie.
With my Kong was that the ape had better posture than you and me put together. He stood up really tall.
Let's talk about your Broadway play. I didn't realize you were I guess I knew
Of course you did. I've been on this show for years telling you this.
The Right Kind of People. What's this all about, The Right Kind of People?
The Right Kind of People is about a Fifth Avenue co-op board in New York. Co-op board is where you have to go and apply to live in the building.
Yeah, it's hell. It's just awful.
And they look you over, and it's very hard. There's an article in the paper today, actually, about how difficult it is. A person like you, for example, would never get in.
I got in, but I know what you mean.
No,
I got in. I got in.
No. You were in a co-op building?
Yes, I'm in.
You went in front of a co-op board and you're in?
Yes, and I'm in.
Are you serious?
Yes, and a revered member of the cooperative.
What are you on the east or west side?
I'm downtown.
No.
What do you mean? What does that mean? What is...
No, I'm talking about Fifth Avenue in the 70s.
Oh, I'd have no interest in that.
I'd have no You would never get in.
Yeah, I'd get in.
No, I'll tell you why you wouldn't get in.
No, they wouldn't get in. I wouldn't want them in. I don't want them in that building.
No, I'm talking about the Park View on Fifth Avenue, right next door to Klaus von Bülow's building. And you would not get in, and I'll tell you why.
They let Klaus von Bülow in, and I can't get in?
Right.
That's awful.
Well, no, here's the reason. The people would say about you, he's very funny on television, he looks like a very jolly guy and all this stuff. But if you were ever alone in an elevator with him, which I've never been with you, thank God, but I have crossed your path backstage, and it's one of the most chilling experiences. Because off camera, may I for 1 second? Off camera, this guy, he's like... on camera, because he chews a lot of gum before he comes out. He's jolly and he's good.
That's right.
But you would not get in. And this is a play that opens at Primary Stages. There it is.
Right there, Primary Stages.
And it's about, I served on this Fifth Avenue co-op board, and very early on, the first thing that got me to think about writing a play is when they said, one of the people that wanted to buy an apartment got their clothes off the rack.
Oh.
And I said, I get my clothes off the rack, and they said, we know. And that's when I started, they thought I was the most, industrious board member. Now, you're
going to turn the table.
Do not get your clothes off the rack. You have your clothes made for you, is that right?
Well, I have some things that I wear when I'm on the television.
And when you're on television, this suit, for example, was it made for you, or did you buy it off the rack?
No, somebody made this suit for me.
They did.
Yeah. Well, what about your suit? Where'd that come from?
I've never had anything made for me.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But you're
happy with the fit?
You know what? I have to tell you, I don't enjoy him as a personality on television, but I do notice that his clothes look like they were made for him.
We got to get together and run out to dinner one night. Because, I've had dinner now with Regis, and you and I and Regis, we're going to go out, the three of us, and we never did, but now we should. The three of us should go out to dinner. I'm serious, we should.
Why Regis and I were talking with you for like 25 years about having dinner, and then you had dinner with Regis, not me, just Regis.
You weren't
What was it like to have dinner alone with Regis?
It was deadly dull. Deadly dull. I was surprised. It was deadly dull.
I had dinner with Regis Saturday night. I'm not making this up. This past Saturday night. Regis, like all day long, hey, how you doing? Wait, hey, who, wow. By the time he shows up Saturday night for dinner, he's got a couple little Kelly Ripa anecdotes. Then he's like,
I know.
So I started talking a lot, and then he and Joy, Joy
just
is
don't
like
get me started
gorgeous,
with Joy,
and Joy was there, right, with the leather and the whole thing.
That he would leave the table.
That's what I'm saying, because this woman with the leather and then
she
she can
up the
sing,
exactly.
and it's not like
hot.
you, but she is
Hot.
right. And he is and seriously, they're my.
No, he's a pretty dim bulb.
Next to you. What'd you say? He's a dear?
I say he's a pretty dim bulb.
You mean in person?
Well, at dinner, yeah,
In person,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
in
dinner,
person,
yeah. No, it's nothing, no.
But on television, he's a great entertainer. And in person, you know, he's got nothing left.
Right.
You know, he's like...
All right,
no, truly, just so he knows, because he'll probably see this, they're a phenomenal couple. They're priceless friends of mine.
Yeah.
Not priceless. I mean, if you get the check, they'll come, you know.
Sure.
But I love them both, and I want them to know that because they're going to, you know, attack me.
Yeah. But the three of us still should go out.
You're not serious.
No. Now, this I'm very excited about. It's the Right Kind of People. Previews begin January 24th.
January 24th. It's about what happens behind the scenes in the exclusive Fifth Avenue apartment. He's downtown somewhere where anybody can get in. He would never get into the building and the kind of buildings on the east side of New York, Park Avenue, Fifth Avenue.
Well, I hope it's a big, big hit.
Do you really?
Yeah, thank you very much. Charles Grodin, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with Jordana Brewster. Yeah. Well, I'm so happy our first guest is here. He hasn't been with us for quite a while, and I'm such a big fan of his. He's very entertaining. He's a best-selling author and also a CBS News commentator. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our old friend, Charles Grodin. Charles. No, come on over here.
Don't you have a cold?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Aren't you blowing your nose all through
had my nose was running a little bit, but I don't believe I'm contagious. Please come over. I won't lick you. Come over. Have a seat.
I'm asking you straight up. I've known you for like a quarter of a century. Do you have a cold or not?
I think I might have a cold, yeah.
Well, I mean, is it a problem if I... Because I'm very careful about this.
I understand that, and I respect that, but please have a seat. Let me see your ticket. I think you're in the wrong seat. You may be in the wrong seat. Thanks, Charles. I appreciate that. Hey, I want to tell you, it's great to see you. I think about you all the time. I hear you on the radio, and I'm so excited you're back. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, is there some kind of a problem aside from this tonight? Because
you sound a little nasally.
Well,
maybe you have a cold.
No, I don't have a cold.
Sounds like you might have a cold.
It's freezing out here, and I could get a cold from the temperature as well as you.
Yeah.
That's why you have a cold. You keep it too cold out here.
Yeah.
Every year, I've been on this show since it started 25 years ago,
right. Yeah.
And your hair used to be the same color as mine. I don't know what happened to you. And I've always, I get the same amount of money everybody else does. I get about a decade ago, there was an incredibly ugly negotiation where I get an extra $5. Big deal. Mm-hmm. Okay, but that's okay because at the end of every year, I get the Worldwide Pants leather jacket. Mm. And it's a beautiful leather jacket.
It's a nice item, isn't it?
You could sell this jacket on eBay. I have personally never sold it, but I know you can sell that for quite a lot of money.
Well, that would be insulting to me.
No, I wouldn't do it, but you can.
Now, for instance, just to explain loyalty here, if you would ever give me a Christmas gift, I would never sell that.
Well, I actually did send you a gift. Did you get it yet? I sent you a gift that should have arrived today. It's something. I'm serious. It's a comedy thing with Martin Short and me. Did you get it yet?
Not today.
Well, this is going to lift your spirits in a way nothing else can.
Is it a copy of Clifford? Tell me.
It's a promo for Clifford, but it's Marty Short being hilarious. Yeah. So I do give you gifts.
Clifford was tremendous.
That's why I gave it to you.
Thank you very much.
Anyway, I didn't get the jacket this year. I got this. I'm serious. I've been getting that leather jacket for 25 years, and now I got this. This is a card. Who is that? You don't even know who it is. It's your technical maintenance engineer or somebody, right? Is he here? Is he here?
Yes, this is...
I'm sure he's a lovely guy. He's no jacket.
Happy holidays from technical maintenance engineer Gary Mintz and The Late Show.
Why don't you hold on to that?
Well, what's the problem? Well, now, if you really didn't get a jacket, I can only assume that there was a foul-up or a mix-up or a snafu, or maybe it didn't come in. I bet that's it. I bet it didn't come in.
What didn't come in?
I bet it didn't come in.
What, it didn't
I bet
come
the
in to
jacket
where?
didn't come in.
Into here?
Didn't come in.
You didn't have them to say, I know people who are on this show that got jackets.
But I'm saying, I bet yours didn't come in. I'll bet that's
what
what
do you mean
happened.
it's not specialized? It's just a worldwide jacket.
Did his jacket come in or not?
What do you mean my jacket?
No, we don't think
a jacket.
It didn't come in yet. I'll bet that's what happened.
Well, I'd like to see. How about getting it in and getting it over?
All right,
to
we'll
me?
get you one. What
Thank
size are you?
Extra large.
Come on, Chuck. How have you been? Seriously, how's it going? And boy, I'm glad to hear you're back making movies again. That's great.
Well, I'm not. I did make a movie. It's coming out.
Right.
You know, Zach Braff, Amanda Peet, Jason Bateman, Mia Farrow. But I'm not back. I just did that one movie, and I can't. Don't ask me why I did it, because I can't.
But I know why you stopped making.
I stopped doing because my son.
You wanted to be with your family.
My son.
Yeah, that's great.
Was starting first grade. He was 6 years old. Your son is good. Is 3.5, right?
That's right.
You're not going to stop when your son is 6, are you?
Well, I might. I very well could.
No, you may not, too.
What? You just seem to be muttering now. What's the problem?
No, I'm just saying that you're not going to stop when your son is 6.
I might stop when he's 6.
You might?
Sure, I might.
I don't think so. I read the papers.
Now, but congratulations. I understand you have a new hobby. I'm very excited for you.
Okay.
Tell the folks what it is.
Thank you. I've gotten very involved in photography.
It's fun, huh?
Yeah, as a kid, I don't know from cameras or anything. In fact, all those movies, I never even looked through a lens. But now I myself have gotten, I like to take pictures of horses.
I guess
horses,
like portraiture of a horse.
Yeah, a horse. You take a picture of a horse. You know,
they're beautiful. They're beautiful animals.
Yeah.
How long have you been shooting film?
Well, I haven't been at it that long, but I think they have something.
Is it digital or a film?
I don't know that. It's not that I'm relatively new at the field. I'm doing the best thing. But you have something there.
Now, were these taken
within the last 6 months? I just started 6 months ago.
Let's take a look at this. Are these horses you own, Chuck?
No.
You know what? Is this one of a series? Would we find the head? Would the head be at this? Okay, here's number 2. Let's see if that answers. What are you doing?
What?
Well, I say, what are you doing? These are ridiculous. What do you? I mean, did you take these from a speeding car? I mean, what on earth is the problem?
You know, I thought I said like a few times. I've just begun to do this. I've been at it like a few months. I mean, I'm excited. I'm not like they're not having a show.
Yes, I can see that.
I understand what your point is, but I think you're too critical. You should be supporting new people when they come up in any field.
But that's just stupid, for God's sakes. You just stay there. We'll be right back here with Charles Grodin. Tell the people, for a while you were doing commentaries on 60 Minutes 2, and I don't think 60 Minutes 2 is still on the air. Is it still on the air? But you still do the commentaries on CBS Radio. And they're very entertaining and very engaging, and it's the kind of thing that has a certain universality about them, and that's why we enjoy them. What? What's the matter now? What?
You don't have a cold at all, do you?
I don't. I think I don't know what it is.
You seem fine.
Might be allergies.
You're very kind.
Thank you very much.
When do you hear these commentaries?
When I'm driving to and from the city.
What time? Approximately.
Well, usually it's about 2:30 a.m. Monday morning.
I'm on 2:23 a.m.
2:23. Well, there you go. Okay.
Well,
but I enjoy them.
5 times a day,
yeah.
prime time.
Very
This isn't prime time, is it?
No, this is late
late
night. Something called late night.
Yeah, I'm on prime time.
Prime time.
I'm on prime time, drive time, prime time, all across the country. I have about 15 million listeners.
I always wonder.
Listen to me every day with everything I have to say.
Well, I'm not listening to you. I always wonder how
you're like about 5 million, something like that.
How you can take.
You're doing a good job.
Thank you. I try as hard as I can. And you wonder why you didn't get a jacket.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder how you can take an experience like that, and they're very brief. They're like
they're 1 minute.
Yeah, and I wonder, that's a lot of information to get into 1 minute. You do a great job putting that together.
Thank you. Yeah,
any come to mind?
Yeah, I mix them up. Some of them are serious. Some of them are. I did one recently about. I'd worked with two guys. This is true. I'd worked with two guys, just the two of us working on something, and both of them left. On
what were you working on?
One was like a play that I'm working on. Somebody was giving me some sound effects of a laugh track.
Right.
You really get me off the story when you do something like that.
I'm fascinated.
You know? I mean, are you a professional? How long have you been doing this? You don't stop a guy when he's in the middle of his flow.
But we have more than a minute here, and I thought maybe we could explore some of these other.
Let's not explore. Let me just get to the comic point of the story.
Okay, I don't think we're going to live that long, but go ahead.
You know, I got criticized when I came out here because they said Paisley is out.
Oh,
that's
nuts.
Biff.
No.
That's Biff.
Biff was criticizing you? No, I think
and Biff criticized me because I didn't have a pocket handkerchief.
A little pocket square, but you look great.
So I did these two, this commentary about these two guys I'm working with. They each go away for a moment, come back. One comes back with some popcorn, the other comes back with a candy bar. Nobody offered me anything to eat. This really happened. So I did. That was one of the recent commentaries that if you're working with one person and you come back with something to eat, you can't not offer them. That worked like.
That's exactly right. They're supposed to say, well, I'm going out for some popcorn. Can I get you some? Would you like a beverage? Can I get you some popcorn? Whatever you want.
Are you sucking on something right now? You have a lozenge in your mouth or something?
No, I don't have a lozenge.
You have no food in your mouth right now?
No, not that I know of.
You seriously?
I have nothing
anything
in my mouth. I'm not eating anything. I'm not sucking anything.
You look like you've got some food in your mouth.
I have nothing in my mouth. So, you know, the fact that now that we know that you're nuts, this takes the universality. This takes that right off the, you know what I mean?
The universe.
No, it just puts them in on a whole different light, for God's sakes.
This didn't happen, and I do think you're eating.
I'm not eating anything. But I had, and the person, I won't tell the person's name, this happened years and years ago, and the person's very, very famous. I was invited as a guest to his house, and unannounced, his girlfriend comes out with a huge, like London broil on a platter, and a huge half-gallon of milk. And he sat there and he ate the steak in such a manner that his snout was glistening with steak fat, and he was drinking from the milk container, and it was like I wasn't there. Never said, pardon me, never said, excuse me, never said, would you like 6 or 8 pounds of meat? Never, nothing.
What's the explanation? Why would
well, I know the explanation in this case, but the guy's goofy.
Something you want to share with?
No, I mean, I've revealed as much as I
don't
care
want to. No, you don't have to say any name. Why would anyone do that? Because this is true what I'm saying. Why could anyone pull out a big thing and start eating?
All right, let me answer. It's a character flaw. It's a character flaw. There's something wrong with that person. They have no empathetic structure.
Do you feel, as you go through life, that you should point this out to people when you run into their character flaws?
No, but if
you ever run into people?
Well, that's a pretty short.
You ever see anyone?
Pretty short list. I'm telling you.
Have you ever been out socially with someone who's not involved with this show?
Yeah. Oh, sure, all the time. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In the last decade or so?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
Mm-hmm. And you? Well, now, what was that? I saw a little. You just.
I don't believe you.
No, you did
I don't
this.
believe you.
You did
I
this.
don't
No,
believe you.
but more than doubting. Here's what you did.
I snickered.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was
snickered.
more of a sneer. It was a sneer. It was an audible sneer. That's what it was.
I don't believe you.
It was very dismissive.
I don't believe you.
Here's what
I don't
you did.
believe you. I don't think it's appropriate. It's still a national show. Might not be in prime time, but it's still. You can't just make up that you're this socialite who's around.
I'm not a socialite. I never said I was a socialite.
You were seen anywhere.
Now you're putting
anywhere
words,
at any event. You've never been seen anywhere but here.
Desperate man. You're
Have you ever
fabricating.
been seen anywhere but here that anyone wrote about? Anywhere. Ever. Ever. With anyone.
I don't know. Maybe.
Have you ever been anywhere but here and home, here and home, here and home, here and home?
I go on a regular basis. I go other places. I have activities, and
I saw a photograph of you with your son. You were down somewhere, but I'm talking about with people more or less your age.
Well, that would be who? You and Regis, and that's it. That's just the three of us. There's not many of us left.
It's all over.
Yeah.
You didn't get the notice? No. It's like my jacket didn't come in.
Hey, wait a minute. Let me check on that. Did the jacket come in yet?
That jacket come in yet?
No, it hasn't come in yet. We'll get you that jacket, though.
You know, I'm actually appearing.
Let's take a look at a clip. What is this, Charles? Let's set this up for us.
What clip?
There's no clip?
There's no clip.
I thought there was some kind of a film.
No clip. What do you think I am?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't show clips. I'm not here for any commerce. I don't get the jacket. I don't have a clip. I'm here just for the sheer catching a cold.
Oh, okay. But seriously, it's great to see you. And,
please don't do that.
Okay,
please don't do that.
Well, anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And come
Thanks
back.
a lot.
No, wait a minute. Don't leave.
Well, you're going to shake my hand when I get
won't
out.
shake anything. Now listen. When the movie is released, please come back.
Well, yeah, and you try to get better by then, okay? I mean, in every way.
In every way. Well, I'm pretty sure I can beat the cold. I don't know about the rest of it. Charles Grodin, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with Dan Natterman. If you want to have some fun, you got to go someplace and get a hold of a copy of The Heartbreak Kid with Charles Grodin and Sybil Shepherd.
That was terrific.
What a motion picture that is. Very,
you know what?
Very
he
funny.
made a remake. This is the anniversary of King Kong, and you remember he made that remake, great remake with Jessica Lange of King Kong in the 70s.
Yeah. Well, start with The Heartbreak Kid first. And then work your way up to King Kong.
Okay.
How about Mom? Am I right about that? Thank you for being so nice to my mom. And I know she wouldn't want me saying this, but I'll tell you, and she's just tremendous, and it makes me, it's so gratifying, but in July she'll be 86. Pretty good, huh? Remind me to get her a card. Our next guest is a wonderful actor. He stopped making good movies. And now he's starring in a new film entitled The X, and it opened today. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our good friend Charles Grodin. Right over there, buddy. There you go.
How long have I...
Welcome back.
Please. How long have you had your own talk show?
Oh, God.
30, 40 years?
Oh, it's the 27,
8 years.
Yeah,
so you know
25.
that, what the staff says to a guest before they enter is important.
Right. Oh, sure. It's the last thing you hear.
It's the last thing you hear.
It's like a racehorse, a thoroughbred in the gate, waiting for the bell. Boom! Comes right out. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. What happened? Did somebody say something untoward back there?
Well, no, this happens. I'm going to make a point here.
Okay.
Would you not lay back a little bit?
Sure.
You know, the last time I was on, I forget what somebody said, but this time, just before I went on, somebody said, synthetics don't televise. This is a...
It looks fine.
This is a I put $62,
I don't
maybe
care what...
more.
No, it's
jacket.
fine. It's a
not
lovely
synthetics.
jacket. I don't care what it's made of. It's fine. It looks great. You look tremendous. You've never looked better.
Excuse me 1 second. Yeah. No, I mean, somebody just attacked me before I went on. Letterman. Yeah, I'm on Letterman. Somebody just attacked me before I went on. They said my jacket the synthetics don't televise. I mean, it's... They haven't said... No, my tie, they haven't said anything about my tie. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'll talk to you later. I'm sorry.
Who was that?
That's my accountant. He wants me to ask for more money. I'm not going to.
Your accountant called in the middle of the show.
Well, he doesn't know it's the middle of the show.
But I
keep
didn't
my
hear
phone
the
on all
phone
time.
ring. Did
No,
you have it on vibrate?
It's a vibrate.
You had it on vibrate. Well, I didn't see anything vibrating over there
I
either.
didn't see anything. It's in my pocket here.
You seem, you know, we've known each other a long time, and there's clearly there's a vein of anger in you that runs deep. Have you ever considered anger management?
Have you ever considered hiring skills of who you put backstage before I go on?
They seem to get along with everyone else.
Do they?
Yes.
Yeah. How about when you were sitting here for the third time saying, I stopped doing fine films? Well, I didn't make that up.
Yeah, no.
Some people might think that really wasn't my accountant. In fact, it was.
Yeah, of course it was.
But, you know, he stopped making fine films,
right.
but he's out in a new movie.
It was a slip of the tongue, because you made classic motion pictures that I would see again at the drop of a hat. And then, for a very good reason, you said, you know what, I'd like to do something else now with my family, and you did. And now you're back making fine films again. Why? I guess
Did you hear a question in there?
I guess the question is...
And make speeches, I don't...
I guess the question is, why do you have to be such a hump?
Excuse me. I'm really serious. What did you just say? Why do I have to be such a what?
Hump.
Hump?
Yeah.
What does that mean, a hump?
You know, just like something, a lump in the rug you'd like to mash down. Metaphorically. Metaphorically. You're a hump in the rug of life that we would like to beat down.
Look, I spoke to your mother backstage.
She's lovely, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful person. She denied being your mother. She denied it.
Now listen to this. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. This man, he has received, I believe perhaps the most recent issue of this, the William Kunstler Award for Racial Justice. My goodness. Congratulations. I would like to have that on my resume.
You'd like to have that on your resume?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, why don't you explain why you get the William Kunstler Award for Racial Justice? You can't just sit here and attack guests. Get the award for racial justice.
Oh, really? That won't do it, huh?
No.
There's no point in me sending him a tape.
One of the people under consideration.
Okay. All right, well, tell us about this. First of all, how long have you been involved in criminal justice?
I've been involved in criminal justice quite seriously since 1945, 52 years, seriously, wow. Which is, how old a man are you? Pretty much since you were a little boy. Mm-hmm. I was with the Pinkerton, I'm serious about this, I was with the Pinkerton Detective Agency when I first came here. And I have a specialty. You know, this is actually true. It's hard to know with what we're doing
here.
Yeah,
it really is.
But I really was. I really was with Pinkerton, and I had a specialty. I could spot scams.
Scams?
Scams. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry to have to tell you, because I've been on this show for however long this show's been on, that I have spotted a scam right here.
I'm glad to hear about it, because I want to know, because fish rots from the head.
Well, this,
I don't know what I'm talking
this
about.
is probably a scam you're not aware
Yeah,
of. But,
oh,
but
okay, well,
every time, and however many times I've been on this show, you go to your dressing room and there's this big fruit plate. You may or may not know this. There's this big pastry plate. I'm not making this up. You guys all know this. This is true, right? A big fruit plate, a big pastry plate.
Tasty
and
items.
The last time I was... Let me just flow with my stuff, would you?
Trying to help.
And the last
I just
time-
don't want the phone to ring again.
No,
That's
no.
all I'm praying for.
No, it's going fine. Don't worry about it. We'll get on track in a minute. The last time I was here, and I'm dead serious. Unfortunately, I am serious. I took the big fruit plate, the big cookie plate. You can't. It's like it's for a big. It's like for a staff
Like
of a
banquet.
television show.
Yeah.
You follow where I'm going here. And they put it in the budget, and they put it out there for someone like me who probably doesn't even touch it.
Yeah.
And then after I leave,
Yeah, that's right.
old Steph, you know.
You got us.
So
You got us. Put the cuffs on.
So I
Let's go.
decided
Take me downtown.
to throw it all in a shopping bag. And Matt, you want to step out here for a second? And Matt, be honest. I'm going to ask you honestly, seriously. When I was last on this show, Matt Roberts, supervising producer, writer, and you saw the cookies and the fruit were gone. Matt, did you or did you not kind of slump against the wall and slide down to the floor? I saw that. And therefore, when I came out tonight, when I came into the dressing room tonight, this. Can you get a close-up of this?
That's all you get?
This is what was there.
Busted.
You know I'm not kidding. I saw that. I did take it, and my
Yeah.
family and friends enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
But that's what was there tonight.
Well, the
so
only
I
real
don't
crime
like
here tonight.
retribution.
The only real crime here tonight is that tie.
Hold on a minute.
No.
Hold on a minute.
We
Wait
have
a
to
minute.
go- we
Wait
have
a
to go
minute. Wait a
quick.
minute. I
We
know
have to
you
go
have to go to a break. Did you say the only real crime here is my tie?
Yeah.
Can I get a close-up of my tie? Can I? Oh, that is ugly.
We'll be right back
it's
with
my
Charles
school
Grodin.
colors.
School colors. Charles Grodin, ladies and gentlemen. Charles, let's. This is. I think this is the. Am I correct? Is this the first major motion picture you've starred in quite a while?
I only do major motion pictures.
I know, but is this the first one you've been in a while?
In about 13, 14 years.
God bless you. Welcome back to the silver screen.
Thank you. You know, coming from the star of Cabin Boy, that means a lot
Thank
to
you.
me.
Tip of the hat to you, my friend. But now tell us about the acts. And by the way, Amanda Peet. Oh my gosh, what a lovely, lovely woman. Plays your daughter-in-law. Plays your daughter.
I was very misled by this movie. I got the script. It was a wonderful script, and then I agreed to do it. I did it, and then they changed the whole movie. When I read the script, I should probably first say I'm the national head of abstinence for everyone in America. Sexual abstinence.
Oh, sexual abstinence.
Sexual abstinence.
Wow, I could have guessed that.
Yeah. And in the original script, my daughter did not go all the way. She didn't. But in the movie, as it's presented in opening tonight, The X, she goes all the way. I would never have done this movie if I knew she went all the way.
Right.
I don't
But I
believe
think
it.
it's all right because she's married. To
I don't care. I'm talking about abstinence, you know.
But what was it like to be back working on a film, a very funny film? And again, you haven't lost a beat. You're just as funny and as charming in the film as
Why,
you
have
always
you seen the movie?
Yeah, I've seen
Oh,
it.
you have seen
yeah.
it? Yeah.
Zach Braff
Zach
plays
Braff,
your
Jason
son-in-law.
Bateman, and,
yeah. He's very funny, by the way,
Amanda
at the
Peet,
ad agency. And Amanda Peet.
Jason Bateman, who's been on this show. I guess they've all been on this show,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's
You'll
right.
book anyone, won't you?
Well, I think you would be excited about that because it's a nice
They're
movie.
great. They're great young people. They're young people.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, I was misled. In the original script, my daughter did not go all the way. Then I see the movie, and she does go all the way.
Right.
And I'm not happy with that.
That bothers you. Why? Why do you think you would care about?
I think sex is really...
Oh, this will be good.
I just think I don't think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, when you want to talk about all the negatives that happen from people having sex,
Well, yeah,
we're talking about, and that, and like
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
How is everything all right with your wife? Everything good? You never mentioned.
Well, when I say I'm the national head of abstinence in America, I'm not speaking about myself.
Of course not. No.
The chairman is always given certain
dispensations.
Dispensations.
Yeah. You're completely hypocritical, then, aren't you? Let's.
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Let's take a look at a clip, Charles. Tell the people about the X. It opened earlier today.
It opened on
Amanda
Friday,
Peet.
tonight.
Yeah. Well, tell the folks what we're going to see here. The clip.
I don't see why I have to tell the folks what we're going to see. This clip speaks for itself.
All right, speaks for itself.
Speaks
Roll it. Mr. Abstinence. Well, look.
See, I was misled. I didn't.
I
The movie
understand.
makers didn't tell me that lamp was
Yeah, I know.
hot.
Nobody
That's
cares.
the kind of people
Exactly.
behind this movie.
Well, I hope it's an enormous hit and just one of the first of many for you to be in.
And just Spider-Man is like the big
it's a big
sensation.
film.
I fly over buildings and destroy
You
people.
don't need that in this movie because you're witty, funny, urbane, and
I
charming.
also fly as Spider-Man Jr. in this movie.
Spider-Man Jr. Look, Charles, good to see you again. I wish I could think of
Are
other
you dyeing
things.
your hair gray?
No. Yeah, that's right. I was afraid I was starting to look too young. So I decided, Dave, what you better do is start dyeing it gray. So I look every minute of 60. That's what I'm doing. Listen, Charles, always a pleasure. We'll see you at the picnic.
Pleasure.
Charles Grodin, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with Shake Your Hand. Thank you very much, Paul. That's exciting. Our first guest tonight is a... all right, fine. We've seen you. All right, now beat it. Beat it. We've paid for the suit. Get out of here. Yeah, hello.
This is Wayne Easton, CHP.
Yes.
I'm caught in a traffic jam on the 605 in pursuit of a Circus
605.
Vargas 18-wheeler overturned on the off-ramp of the Firestone exit. We got birds and monkeys all over the place here. Notify ASPCA and report.
It's like an episode of Cops or something, isn't it? Our first guest is a fine actor, a commentator for CBS Radio, and a best-selling author. His latest book, I have a copy of it right here, If Only I Knew Then, Learning from Our Mistakes. Here's our good friend, Charles Grodin, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much.
I love you too.
What, Charles? What is the problem?
No, I mean, every time I come out here, just before I come on, somebody says something really inappropriate. This was the worst one.
What was it?
Biff again.
Biff, right? What did he say?
Biff said, "Do you really feel you're likable enough to be on television?" I'm plenty likable, Biff.
That's a terrible thing for him to have said.
Just when I'm about to go on.
I know, because you're high-strung.
Well, I don't care if I wasn't high-strung. If I was low-strung, you still don't say that.
don't say that,
You
no.
don't say that. But I want to say something to you. I saw that show when you had your heart attack and you were slumped over the desk for 3
I
segments.
think you were a guest.
That was one of. Well, it was right. It was right after my appearance.
Yeah.
That was one of the best shows.
Thank you very much. Well, thanks, Chuck.
That was a good show. Now, I generally don't see the show.
Now, why is
with all
that?
due respect.
Why is that?
Well, I'm asleep, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you could,
But
you could
but
record
somebody
it.
called me. I don't know how to do that. But somebody called me after my last appearance
Yeah.
and said, and this is literally true, and you can check it,
All right.
that in the introduction, you referred to me as a hump in the road of life that you have to, like, trounce on or bounce on or get... I mean, come on. You did.
Well, I mean, to me, that's high praise. Don't you think that's flattering? That you are an obstacle in the path of social advancement that people need to deal with in order to be introspective?
No, I could see that.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah. So you see it all works
You
out.
have to see it a different way, though. But when you were slumped over for those
it was one of the finest I know.
But the fact that you're now doing major heart attack humor, I really want to salute you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, how long have you been on here? 20, counting your morning
It's
shows when you
26,
started
27,
on
I don't know, never mind. It
27,
doesn't
25,
count.
58 years,
Now-
and now you're doing heart attack
But I
humor.
want to tell you something. A couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
during the strike, when we were out of work and
Yeah.
I had some time to stay up late and do whatever I wanted, I got a hold of a copy of The Heartbreak Kid, the original Heartbreak Kid, starring yourself, Eddie Albert, Sybil Shepherd. Oh, tremendous cast. What a great movie. Gosh, I enjoyed that.
That's it?
What do you mean that's it? What
No,
about,
I mean,
what
no,
about
I
Thank You,
appreciate it.
Dave?
I'm really uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable with me?
I'm uncomfortable with you saying things like that.
Well, I'm sorry, but I mean,
Because everybody knows you don't mean a word you
no,
say. So I can't sit here and listen to that. Oh, isn't that a nice compliment?
But,
He
I
probably
mean,
never saw the movie.
No, I've seen the movie and loved the movie, and it's one of those movies. And since you have not been making so many films of late, I think it's by your own choice. Well, no, I know you decided for good reasons that you didn't want to make movies for a while.
I decided.
Right.
Because my son was entering
Exactly.
first grade.
You wanted to spend more time.
Stay in New York, where I had my own award nominated.
That's right.
You've been probably nominated, haven't you, for something?
Yeah, we're always nominated.
Yeah.
We're always nominated.
And I've had my own. I've been working for NBC News and CBS News
right.
these last 13 years because I wanted to be home
I
with my
understand.
kid.
Yeah. And how does your son feel about that?
He doesn't like it.
He doesn't like it.
He does not like it.
But now, wait a minute. Speaking of awards, I know that you've received an award for your work in racial justice, homeless advocacy, and your work with Habitat for Humanity. Congratulations. Good for you. A lot of people don't know that about you. A lot of people just think you're that hothead who comes on the show shooting his mouth off. But in fact, you're a man who really works.
I first became a humanitarian. I read your first autobiography. If not for you, there go I, which was excellent. Excellent.
Thank you. I'm glad you
in
enjoyed it.
1969, I directed the Simon and Garfunkel special for this network.
I remember that.
And in your memoir,
Right.
I remember that you were a dental hygienist at that time. I think.
Right, errand boy. Errand boy at a dental office.
Where were you doing in 1969? Between us.
I was finishing up college.
Really? Mm-hmm. Before you became a weatherman?
Yeah, I was after college.
Were you a dental hygienist before or after you were a weatherman?
What
background do you have to have your own show? Is basically what I'm asking. Why are you here doing heart attack humor? And what is all this? What is this?
Oh, it's fun. It's fun.
And animal sounds?
Let's try one together. Let's try one together. This is Lieutenant Len Eason, California Highway Patrol. You want to try one?
Very dear friend of mine.
Okay.
816, this is Len Easton, California Highway Patrol. Domestic dispute reported 3200 Black Oquinga Boulevard. 42-year-old Caucasian male tapped out wife's brother with a shoehorn. Backup requested. You got it, 914.
Domestic dispute doesn't even, that's not even news. Domestic disputes are in 300 million households in America. That's not a highway patrol call. Have you ever had a domestic dispute?
About to have one here. We'll be right back with Charles Grodin, everybody. Charles Grodin, I'm very excited. Let's talk first about the book, and then I understand you have another television project. Let's talk a little bit about the book. This is fascinating.
Well, the book, yeah. Well, the book
if I only knew then, learning from our mistakes. I think this is a great idea for a book. And you talk to famous people, and they tell you mistakes they've made and the lessons they've learned.
81 people, in addition to myself, Walter Cronkite, Alan Alda, Carol Burnett, Senator Orrin
Paul Newman,
Hatch,
Rosie
Paul
O'Donnell,
Newman.
Regis Philbin, Robert Redford, Ben Stiller, Gene Wilder, and many, many more.
And
Pete Hamill,
all the money,
Peter
all
Falk,
the proceeds.
Governor Mario Cuomo, Walter Cronkite.
And all the proceeds. I've worked on it for 2.5 years, and all the
Really, 2.5 years?
Yeah, and all the
Seems
proceeds.
a little thin for 2.5 years. You'd think it'd be. Is this maybe just volume 1, right? Probably just. I don't know. 2.5 years. It seems like it'd be, you know, like a phone book or something. Well, anyway. It's all right. It's all right. It's entertaining and informational.
I think it's the most important thing I've ever done, because you get people in there where they're talking about things that you would not think of. For example, there's so many things you or I or any of us haven't thought about. You don't know you're making a mistake, otherwise you wouldn't do that.
Of course.
And what I won't talk about my mistake, but what I learned was, if you really love someone, even if you think you're right about something, don't try to prevail if it's going to cause stress in a loved one. Have you ever had a loved one? I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's something you could identify with, you know. No, they're just good life lessons. We're missing a lot. And you look back on your life. Yeah, and we make mistakes constantly,
well, I think
but we
you
don't
bring up
know
a great point. It's just a matter of understanding. I mean, just because you have a feeling about certain things doesn't mean another's feelings aren't equally
and especially
valid.
if you love that person, you don't want to.
No.
I don't try to prevail. That's why I'll be married 25 years coming up pretty soon, you know. And I have, as you can see, I have, I mean, how many, do you have any friends at all? I mean, you see all these friends, because you've been out, but really, I like something you said. I was quoting it the other day on the phone. You said once that people are more comfortable if they don't see you outside.
That's right. I think when I'm out and about, it makes people uncomfortable.
And you know, the funny thing is, it's really true. I've been on this show with him, I don't know, 25 years. I've never had a personal conversation with him, ever, ever. I ran into him in the hall once at the end of the show, and I'm still... And I wish I was kidding. There's something about you, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But boy, it's difficult, because you got, you know.
Made an impression.
It made a big impression on me. Well, but the heart attack humor is great stuff.
But you know, I think the world of you, and I love when you come on. I really get excited.
But you're not promoting my new show.
No, I know, we're out of time. We'll get to it the next time you come on. I mean, you're on regularly. That's the beautiful thing about this.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. And thank you very much. And is the book in stores now?
The book, you can get this book at Amazon.com for $16, I think, and all the money goes to the homeless. All my proceeds go to the homeless.
Good for you.
And I really, quite seriously, if you want to give a graduation present to somebody graduating in February or something, you cannot beat this. Because, no, a lot of people do graduate in February. I looked it up.
Really?
Or June. If you want to give a valuable present, this is great. And I wouldn't say that if I would take any money, because I don't take any money.
Wait a minute. I don't want to tell you how to do your business, but if you save the purchase till June, you can buy this for grads and dads.
Because of, is that when Father's Day is?
Father's Day.
We don't celebrate that in my house.
Grads and dads.
Well, grads and dads or February, but thanks for that. We'll go with that. But the real thing is, if you don't get wiser as you get older,
that's right.
You just get older.
You don't get wiser?
If you don't get wiser as you get older.
Yes.
And I'm not naming names.
No, I understand what you're saying.
I'm just saying, you just get older.
That's right.
If you don't get wiser as you get older.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Charles Grodin. Thank you, Charles. Always a pleasure.
right, welcome back to The Tonight Show. Tina Turner, Joe Grodin, and my first guest who has starred opposite such beautiful leading ladies. Oh, this is quite a list also. Sybil Shepherd, Candice Bergen, Farrah Fawcett, Arlene Ginder. He now has the... It's my comedy do's and don'ts. Tonight we're covering the don'ts. Tomorrow night we'll get on to the do's. This gentleman now has the unique distinction of playing the love interest of one of the true great sex symbols of our time, Miss Piggy, in the soon-to-be-released film The Great Muppet Caper. Would you please welcome one of my favorite actors, Charles Grodin.
You want to hear how strange show business can be sometimes. I'm sitting in the green room with maybe one of the best moth anecdotes you've ever heard. And I'm dead now. I can't do that. It's good, but you can't follow a moth anecdote with another moth anecdote.
Could you switch it to like maybe a frog or a tree toad or
I'm
a
not
bat?
that loose. I'm not going to like chance that in front of, what do you got, like 600-700 people. No, it's a good one. It didn't go in my ear, and I'm not going to tell it, but maybe some other time. It just happened that way.
Yeah,
it's
that's
bizarre.
strange.
I didn't know that you were going to...
Well, it's all part of God's great plan, you know. Survival of the fittest.
Yes, well, you did real well.
Well, thank you, and it kind of has been downhill since. But we're hoping that you can help us out along those lines. A major motion picture star, and but you know, I'm talking to you. That's you. You can always come up with segues, but I like to get right to the questions. But you know, you don't strike me as a real star kind of guy. You're like a regular fella, you know, like a... No, I know you are, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. I know what
you look like a guy that spent a lot of time...
I resent it.
No. It was meant in a kind way.
Of course it was. What is the question?
You look like the kind of guy who would just spend time in a hardware store or shopping or a regular guy.
Yes, I am. I'm a regular guy. Yes. Not a regular girl. Where are we going with this?
No. Well, here, let me show you. It's number one right there. It's right there.
That, yeah.
Ever find yourself inadvertently playing the movie star in real life?
Movie star in real life? No. No. A couple of years ago, I think I did that once. I try to be like a guy in a hardware store, basically, as you put it. I think it works, you know. People expect less from you. He's a guy in a hardware store. Oh, what's he going to do, you know? A couple of years ago, I think when I started to do more and more movies, I did get a phone call from a very big female star that we were talking about doing something together. I didn't know her very well.
Something professionally together?
Yes, yes. And she called. I live in a place where there's a switchboard, and she got on the phone and said, Chuck, she said her name. She said, you know, they put me right through. Mm-hmm. Well, they put everybody right through. I live on the Upper West Side of New York. They put you right through up on the Upper West Side of New York. Mm-hmm. At that point, I slipped into some kind of a star thing because she expected it of me. I said, they put you right through? They put you right through to me? No, they didn't even ask who it was. They put you right through. I said, well, I'll speak to them. I'll speak to them. Right. I'm shocked that they did that. Yeah. But that was the only time. The rest of the time, I try to act like this. Of course, this isn't actually what I'm like.
Well, what actually would you be like?
Well, I'm pretty much of a star.
Yeah, well, I'll accept that.
You know, but people don't like that. In the old days, you could have gotten away. I can't really let my true self show here. They'll say, oh, God, it's offensive. So anyway, I don't do it. No, you're going to get just real nice and easy, you know.
Just off behind the scenes?
Off, I'm probably the most affected movie star you've ever seen. Yeah.
Nasty to little people?
English accent and everything.
Now, tell me about... You know, one thing I've got to ask you, and I'm sorry to deviate from this wonderful repartee we had established, but did you actually see Sybil Shepherd undressed?
I did see Sybil Shepherd undressed, yeah.
Well, now, how was that?
That's a very nice experience, actually.
Yeah.
It is, you know, compared to number of other things I've done, I'd rate that pretty high.
Yeah, I would guess it. It's now, but for the movie, you couldn't have phonied that up. I mean,
No. Everybody was nude, and this is just one of the things you have to do if you're in the movies. No, I did not see Sybil undressed.
Yeah.
I didn't see her. I tried, but the
security being what it was. Sure. All right, now back to.
Have you ever seen anyone undressed that we might be interested in? As long as you're raised.
I've seen. Let's see. Nobody. You know, when I was in New York, occasionally I would see Willard Scott in his shorts.
What's he look like? Ooh.
It's. If he ever comes over, don't have him put him right through. No. Now you enjoy talking with children, correct?
Yes, I enjoy talking to children. I enjoy talking to everybody.
Children?
I have a daughter. Mm-hmm. I have a daughter. I don't really enjoy talking to her, but other people's children. I think the best conversation I ever had. I love my daughter. That's a joke. Yeah. Marion. That's a joke. Alan Arkin has a little boy who, when he was 3 years old, we were friends, and I went to visit him upstate in Connecticut. And there were a lot of people up there, and we found ourselves, Tony Arkin at the age of 3, and I were sitting on a sofa, and we were the only two people in the living room, and I'm sitting like this, and I look over there, and he's kind of sitting like this, too. Now, he's 3, and I'm older. And I look at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him again, he looks at me again. And I said, Tony, how do you spend your day? And he said, weed, play with my toys, drink my bottle. And I thought, that's kind of how I spent my day, too.
We're going to pause here for a moment. We will return. More of The Tonight Show right after this.
Tom Snyder on Tomorrow, Coast to Coast, a special edition, Friday night.
Hi there. Welcome back to The Tonight Show. Charles Grodin is with us this evening. And Charles and I were just briefly discussing people we've seen undressed, and a fascinating conversation. Now, you're in the new Muppet movie, which is called The Great Muppet Caper.
Yes, it is.
Soon to be released?
June 26th, yes.
This was fun?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was fun. They're great, and I happen to like the movie a lot, too. I think mostly what I like, and I don't know that people are really interested in this, but the people themselves, the Muppet organization, are just the nicest ladies and gentlemen, and I appreciate that. That's not always the case when you're working in the movies or when you're working any place.
Do they? I'm under the impression they do most of their work in England. Is that true?
Yes, this was in England.
Yeah.
London, England.
London.
Yeah.
And and they're truly craftsmen.
City in England. They are truly craftsmen.
Yeah. Yeah. We have before we continue with more foreign capitals, we have a brief example of the motion picture.
It's actually an 8-minute scene.
Okay, well then just take off your shoes, maybe order a pizza, relax.
I think you might. I've met Miss Piggy, and I'm very enchanted, infatuated with her. And this is a scene where I make my move. Actually,
this is a romantic.
Yes, I am very interested. Yes.
Okay, so that's what we're going to take a look at here from the new Muppet movie. Caper. That could be my favorite line of the entire movie. He's a frog, isn't he? That's a fairly torrid scene. Now, is it hard to sort of calm down after doing one of those?
Well, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. It was.
Yeah.
It was. You know, sometimes you handle it, and sometimes you don't. We went out a little bit.
You and the pig?
Nothing big. It's kind of just a physical thing that happens when you're that.
Oh, sure.
When you play all day long in those, just that happens. It's kind of classic in movies, and it happened. Nothing Nothing that was going to break up anybody's life, but it was, it's hard. Yeah. We dealt with it the best we could.
But she seems like a mature,
She's a
reasonable.
pro.
Yeah.
She's a pro, and she also knows that if you let something like this get out of hand and you've got other scenes to do, you know, and maybe we're fighting at night and then you come on the set in the morning, this is what you deal with. So we kind of cooled it down. We're very dear friends now.
You're not just, you have to deal with the feelings of others, too.
That's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, that's right.
Feelings of others.
Well, that's, I appreciate the fact that you're man enough to come out here and own up to that fact. But,
I like to tell the truth on television, you know.
I think it's important.
Off television,
anything goes. Yeah. What is it? Now, you're a single man, is this correct?
Yes.
And do you...
You a single man?
Yes, I am.
All right. And who have you seen undressed?
Maybe we go trout fishing one of these days, huh?
You want to do some single men stuff? Is that single men?
Yeah,
You've seen women
the
get
lawn
undressed
or something, huh?
Yeah.
Where were we? I was going to ask you about, do you lead an active... Now, this sounds silly. It's like I'm interested in you.
It does.
Maybe my girlfriend and I could double date with you and a girl sometime, huh?
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Do you have an active dating life?
Do I have an active dating life?
Or Doc, whoever wants this one. And don't.
What does that mean exactly? Do you have an active dating
Let's
life?
see what it
you
says
mean,
here. You're single. What do you have the most difficulty dealing with where women are concerned? Charles?
No, I have an active. I go out on. I know women.
Well, I thought so. Now we're making real progress. While we mull that tidbit over, we're going to pause for a brief commercial message. We'll be right back.